Back again. My point is podcast show, whatever you want to call it. It's your boy AJ here with Tobias.
What's
Gonna go over
good?
some gonna go over some NFL week one. And boy, was it a big one. Let's start with the opening game of the season. The Eagles take on the Cowboys. Eagles win this
Ooh.
game 24-20. What's your reactions? How you feeling?
Honestly, I had a feeling the Cowboys were going to cover the spread. I think it was 8.5 when the game kicked off.
Yeah,
But man, Jalen Carter spitting on the richest quarterback in the league. Can't do that. The game itself, though, the actual football between the lines, I mean, Dak looked better than expected. I didn't expect the run game to do anything, so he looked better. He looked pretty good despite him not having a run game behind him. Like you said about Jalen Hurts, he might have regressed. I mean, he's just checking it down to his tight ends. He's not really taking any shots down the field. Playing pretty conservative quarterback. Um, I don't know. I think Eagles did what they were supposed to do. They won the game, and the Cowboys lost.
they did 100%. But coming out of this game, my opinion, I think Dallas is. I mean, obviously, not having Jalen Carter, huge. That's a huge. That's major impact. But even then, I feel like Dallas performed like they did as best as they could with the weapons they have, and they still were in it with a chance to win that game.
For sure.
I think the rain, the weather delay took a lot of they had some, and because they had some momentum going for them, and I just, yeah, that weather delay definitely threw everything off. But yeah, even starting the game, like what a way to start the season. I literally walk into the bar to the game to where we're watching the game, and first play, torn Achilles on the kickoff. People forget about that. The Eagles rookie, he tore his Achilles on the kickoff, first play of the
Man,
NFL season. Because obviously, what happened right after that, people completely forgot that that happened, and why Jalen Carter was even able to be around Dak to spit on him because of the injury, and then there was such a delay waiting for the next play to start that they were able to get into a little tussle or a little argument match. And obviously, if you saw the film, Dak Dak says he was spit on the ground. No, Dak obviously was pulled off the greatest rage bait of probably one of all time.
he definitely rage baited. I
That was
definitely agree.
100%, 100%. I'm not like I don't take, and I'm not mad at Dak at that for all. I'm not mad at Dak at that for all.
For sure.
I think it's no, because obviously we only thing we saw at first was Jalen Carter spitting on Dak, and once again, I was like, that seems like something. That's 100% something Jalen Carter did. The fact that they kicked him out, I was kind of surprised by that. I'm like, okay, I guess I didn't think that was warranting getting kicked out of the game,
Nah,
but
you spitting on another man is kind of very unsportsmanlike conduct.
yeah, I mean it's unsportsmanlike conduct, but like, hey, we play football, just take it, just duke it. I'd rather them fight it out than just kick them out of the game. You know what
I
I'm saying? Like,
hear you.
because that's real disrespect, and don't like
Nah, for
that's
real.
real disrespect. So but obviously Dak was never even going to do anything in the first place. He got exactly what he wanted. Dak got exactly what he wanted out of it. But
Oh, for sure.
something funny that something, and I obviously this is really my one friend I was watching the game with, he said when it happened, he was like, dude, and I almost took Jalen Carter to get a tackle this game because Jalen Carter one tackle for some reason was plus 400 on the books.
Oh my God, the sports books knew.
It
Oh
was
my God, the books knew.
like when he told me that as basically the play was happening, and I was like, that's just that's a little bit too much of a coincidence. Like he
Right.
gets kicked out before the game even starts, and he was plus four. And Jalen Carter, who's probably never gone a game without getting a tackle in his career.
Oh my goodness, the
But
sports books knew.
yeah, but besides that, like honestly, the Eagles, yeah, they didn't look like I wasn't super impressed with what Dallas has on defense. The Eagles, they should have, even if Jalen Hurts is regressing, they still should have just lit Dallas up.
I
My opinion.
agree. I think the Eagles defense didn't look so good because of all the players they lost. You know, they lost Darius
Yeah,
Slay. They lost a
for
couple
sure.
pieces. They lost CJ Gardner Johnson. So I
Yeah,
just think they needed time to gel, and they'll be better.
yeah, I think the defense will improve, but the off, I mean, obviously they're going to improve. It's only week one and overreaction, whatever. But just, I just feel like that's not how you start the season. Like, that's just not a good way to start the season. Like, it's a
Yeah,
win. You're happy you got the win, but this is how KC made their living last season. Games like this, and then we seen what happened when it got to the end, and they faced the Eagles in the Super Bowl. So you can
oh
only
for
live
sure.
like play like this for. So we'll see how this goes. Moving
What?
on. Speaking of Kansas City,
Ooh, what a game!
ooh,
Justin
Brazil,
Herbert.
Brazil got a show. Funny, and you would have to the people in Brazil. There's only been two NFL games in Brazil. To them, the two greatest wide receivers I saw the greatest wide receivers of all time. To them would be Romeo Dobbs and Quentin Johnson.
It's
Those are the
hilarious.
two greatest receivers in Brazilian football history. Because obviously last year Dobbs went off when the Packers were down there, and this year Quentin Johnson must have been on social media every day and seen everything people were saying about him, seen even what I said, even what we said about him like a week
he
prior
heard
to
he
a
heard
week
what we
prior to the
said.
game. Here, I'm gonna give him his before I give him his credit. I will say he still was catching every pass I saw him catch was with his body. Didn't really see him use his hands to catch a pass yet. Still, so just waiting for like you got to catch the ball with your hands, like,
No, that's
but
true.
but
Uh,
he's not letting the ball just bounce off of his chest anymore. He was securing it, and he was there every time Herbert needed to make a play. He knew exactly where he was going with the ball, and Johnson made that play for him every single time. So I
for
give him
sure.
100%. Herbert, he's looking like he's trying to solidify him himself as that number 5 QB, maybe even number 4, because maybe even number 4. um, you know, we the Mahomes thing we talked about a couple pods ago.
Maybe we'll see.
But
Man, shout out Keenan Allen, man.
dude, Keenan, I've completely forgot they got him, and then he made that big ass catch on third down, and I was like, oh shit, they got Keenan Allen, and that's exactly what he's there for.
Literally, Herbert's guy that he already had from the past, blast from the past, and when you're playing teams
his
like
OG, his
KC,
OG, he was there when
his
he was a rookie.
OG, man,
He was
his
there when he was a
OG.
rookie. Like he was there for him.
When you're playing a team like Kansas City that has Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, two people that have that synergy on the field, you need a guy that has you have that synergy with. Yes, Lab and Conky is good, but they don't have that synergy yet. You feel me? It takes time to build that, and Keenan and Justin have that. Just because Keenan was in Chicago for a year doesn't mean they lost all that on field energy that they have, the chemistry that they have. Knowing when I give you that look, I know you making a left off of this DB's hip because he's playing this zone instead of this zone. You feel me? They know that. You can look at each other and
Yeah,
know where to go. That's what Travis
no,
and Mahomes do.
yeah. Obviously Rogers and Devontae, they explained it best last season. His first game,
Mhm.
like Roger hadn't been to, just hadn't been together for 2-3 seasons, right? I think, or 2.5 seasons, basically. They were apart. First game together. It was like they never stopped playing together. When you got that type of connection with somebody, you know, it goes to real life too. It's just friendship. Like when you're really boys with somebody, and especially in the NFL, when you, as a rookie quarterback, that's the veteran. He was still probably a top 5, top 7 receiver at the time.
Right.
He's showing you the road, like helping you out. He's always like, that's something obviously Herbert never forget. And it showed. Like Keenan came back, and anytime there's a big play, Johnson was making that. But if they needed that first down or just a quick, get some extra, just get some yards when they were in a bad starting, if they get a penalty and they were not first and 15 or second and 13, he was hitting Keenan for a quick 5-6 yards, just get them back in with the chains and get a good play on third down. So, Kansas City, honestly, I obviously in the title it says KC dead. That's just I think KC, honestly, they played exactly how I thought they would play. The Chargers were just the better team. And I think Mahomes, with the injuries that obviously, I just saw a YouTube video yesterday, and it's hilarious. It said if I had a nickel for every time a Kansas City wide receiver got hurt by their own player in the first game of the season, I'd have two nickels. And I know it's not a lot, but it's crazy that it's happened twice in the last
Literally.
2 seasons.
Oh man. Oh man.
but
Travis Kelsey.
but even with that, I think KC played. You know, their offense was moving. I think, especially against the Chargers have a really that Chargers defense. They have a very solid defense, and
Man, they were the number one scoring defense last year.
yeah,
Jim
yeah,
Harbaugh knows how to make a culture,
he,
dude.
he does. Yeah, and they have a really good defense, and even like KC still put up 21 points against a solid defense. And you know, obviously they had a couple chances, but you know, Herbert was a better quarterback
Right.
on the day. Herbert was a better quarterback, and the Chargers they walk out of Brazil 1-0. You know, so those are two main games. Let's do some quick.
We're going to the 1 o'clock games.
We'll go
Let's
to
just say
more. Let's do
hold
some
on.
quick. Let's do some quick hitters on some. Cardinals Saints
Woo.
2013. You know, I expected the Cardinals to win that game. That game went exactly as I expected. Cardinals never really never really looked like they were losing that game at any point.
Kyler Murray with the illness. I started him in my fantasy team over Patrick Mahomes. Don't worry, I still won.
If I mean he's still threw two TD passes. Marvin Harrison, he definitely
Looking like wide receiver one, looking like his daddy out there.
you know they were trying to they were saying I don't know why people thought like it's crazy. You know, it's just crazy. Like
One of the
Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson have done irreparable damage on the NFL fan bases for how good they were coming into the league because now everybody just expects every rookie receiver to do that. And
one
it's
of my
like, no, those are two generational talents who probably will go down as
oh for
top
sure.
7 wide receivers of all time. So like
LSU.
let's not compare everybody to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, please.
Those are LSU receivers, baby. But one of my big picture sports takes that I have is that from college to NFL is that Ohio State will become wide receiver U once Jeremiah Smith gets into the league. And I believe that Marvin Harrison, his emergence will make Ohio State become the new wide receiver U because LSU, especially nowadays, is leaning more towards excellent quarterback play and just speedy receivers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously going back, yeah, obviously LSU is, but yeah, definitely within, I would say, since because now they had Brian Thomas, but yeah, really since Chase was after
Now we have
Jefferson.
Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors, boy.
True, true,
Don't
true,
forget about that guy. Don't forget
true.
about that guy.
But like within the past, Ohio State, they've had just as many, if not, you know, and we'll move on. You know, whatever Saints Cardinals, we all know that game was. But we'll go on to another Ohio State wide receiver. We'll go on to the Buccaneers and the Falcons. Emeka Ibuka, two
Ooh.
TDs, two TDs. Ohio State, you know, like they've already got. I feel like obviously Harrison and then Jeremiah Smith that would definitely cement them. But I feel like Ohio State's already within the last. You know, they're competing with LSU for that wide receiver U title.
I just feel like when you have the two best receivers in the league come from the same school, it's hard to compete. But you do got Garrett Wilson out there. You do got Chris Olave out there. You got some good wide receivers out there from Ohio State, you know? But but like I said, when Jeremiah Smith get there, that's when Ohio State will take over. But it's okay. LSU, we're still quarterback you. We got Joe Burrow. We got Jane Daniels who about to go to the Super Bowl this year. Mark my words. And we got Garrett Nussmeier right now. But we can go talk about NFL college later.
Yeah, but no Buccaneers 23-20. That no
Baker
Buccaneers,
Mayfield.
Buccaneers Falcons. That's always going to be a good game, no matter what. Especially if it's the opening game of the year. We are know this because they have all offseason to prepare for each other. Michael Penix Jr. looking like the true pick that Atlanta risked it on. No, 27 for 42, 298, 1 TD. But Baker Mayfield. There's a reason I had him at my 5, I had him at my 6, and you know, hopefully he just keeps proving me right every time he steps onto that field. If there's any obviously he's not. Obviously, he's not better than Lamar or Burrow or Mahomes. But if I can't, as a Bills fan, if I can't have Josh Allen, man, like get just Baker. Like I would just love to have Baker, even if it's
Yeah,
not as
Baker is a
successful.
dog.
Just having I just love he's just like same exact energy as Josh Allen. He's just not Josh Allen, obviously, but
Nobody
I
Josh Allen.
no, we'll get to that. But I love Baker. Bucks, even, you know, I think they're the NFC South. I think between those two, Bucks and the Falcons, that's gonna be come down to probably their final game of the season between those two. I feel like.
Yeah, Panthers have no shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's move on. Yeah. So let's just move on to them. Get them out of the way. Panthers. Yeah. You guys. Sheesh.
Bad.
Bad. Bryce Young. Sheesh. I mean, I had hope. I was on that hype train. He got benched last season, came back the rest of the season. Looked like he was making improvements, and then to come out like that first game, that is not what I wanted to
The only
see.
thing I have to say about this game is that Travis Etienne last year during the season at a point got benched for Tank Bigsby. Travis Etienne looked so good against
That
the
they
Panthers
traded
that they
Tanks
traded
Bigsby,
Tank
Tanks
Bigsby.
Bigsby.
Literally,
Yeah,
that's how bad the Carolina Panthers run defense is. They were historically bad last year. They had a historic bad run defense last year. And Dave Canales has done nothing in the offseason to fix that run defense. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, maybe it was just injuries. Oh, no, they're still historically bad. They got Travis Etienne out there looking like Emmett Smith.
yeah, that is. Yeah, I didn't even really think about. I didn't think
Looking
about
like
that. Yeah,
prime Emmett Smith.
yeah, that's
He's
a yeah.
not that guy.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so
Man, I think
yeah,
they played the Panther. I mean, they played the Cardinals.
yeah.
I'm taking freaking James Conner over rushing yards. What the heck?
I'm taking everybody.
Tyler Murray for 300. Man, they about to
Yeah,
go. Cardinals about to go crazy on them boys.
everybody. But so yeah, so I can't even make a true judgment about the Jaguars. Like they look good. The Jaguars they have the skill. Like me and my one boy were talking about it. The Jags legitimate. They have 5 top 15 picks. They literally have 5 top 15 picks. Like there's zero reason the Jags should. They have Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas, Josh Hines Allen, Travis Hunter, Travis Etienne. Like the Jags have, and a couple people on defense I'm probably forgetting. Like the Jags have a lot of top talent.
Nah,
So
word.
like I'm not gonna give them. I'm really not even gonna judge them off of this game because it's the Panthers. But it they looked like the way they should look.
Literally, they
they
looked
looked
how
like
they should look.
they look like how they should look. Let's move on to another one. Let's go with your boys, the Seahawks and the 49ers. How'd you feel about that game?
Oh man, I unfortunately my NFL Sunday ticket was not working. Well, I didn't get it set up properly, so I didn't watch the game. But I watched the highlights back, and I was going through the play-by-play as the game was happening, and the defense looked stout. Let's just say the defense looked stout. The offense was a joke. Offensive line specifically a joke. Sam Darnold was okay. His passes were on time. It's early in the season. It's hard to get that chemistry with a new quarterback and new receivers. But Cooper Cup had a drop that was kind of bad. JSN looked great. But the O line, Abe Lucas and Charles Cross, both of them are on prove it years, which is kind of funny how you have the quarterback and both tackles on a prove it year in the same season. But um, other than that, divisional games are hard. Brock Purdy's a proven quarterback. He got paid for a reason. I just feel kind of garbage because they had no receivers. George Kittle got hurt, and we still lost.
Yeah, I was on my way to the Bills game, so and I was at the tailgate, so I really didn't get to see anything of this game. But I trust your opinion. Out of the so Seahawks, they looked mid. Is that the outcome?
Seahawks offense looked mid. Seahawks defense looked elite through one game, but that's through one game, and Brock Purdy had no weapons. So
Yeah, and now he's hurt. Let's cover that.
literally,
Let's cover that real quick because that literally just happened right before we started. I got that notification. Rock pretty out for a couple weeks, so we'll see what happens with the 49ers because um, how did they look? I didn't really. It
doesn't matter.
says
But I mean, it's hard. Like I said, I think that Seahawks defense is really good, but the McCaffrey did not do much in the ground. He had like 50 rushing, 50 receiving yards. I think McCaffrey was his number one. No, he might have been number two receiver. Ricky Pearsall had a pretty decent day. But once Kittle got hurt and Kittle scored that touchdown, but he didn't do much after that. And he threw two bad picks. Well, actually, both the picks were great plays by the defense. He threw two picks. but he was struggling through 3 quarters, and then he had a great drive, which I really can't even contribute to him. It was really Tariq Woolen blowing coverages.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like a typical Seattle San Francisco game.
Yes,
That's
sir.
that's
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Sounds like your typical Seattle San Francisco game. All right.
Pretty much.
Good to know. Good to know. And we'll see how I think we'll see how the Seattle but Brock Purdy being out. Let's see how the 49ers end up for the next couple of weeks.
We shall see. Maybe they'll end up like the Cowboys last year and then just blame all the injuries. Oh, we didn't have a quarterback. No, no, no.
Speak quarterback wise, Colts and Dolphins.
Ooh, getting dimes.
Two completely opposite quarterback performances by quarterbacks you wouldn't like two like that's just I feel like go back a season, if you look at that you think that stat line probably be flipped completely.
I'm telling you right now, the Miami Dolphins were made off of that comeback to the Ravens a couple years ago. The Miami Dolphins were a good start or been the same forever. They start good and then they end terribly. The Miami Dolphins, I said this during our prediction show, our predictions podcast. I was low on the Dolphins because of all the drama that was going on with their best player, Tyreek Hill. And I said if they don't start good, which I didn't expect them to, they're not going to finish good because they never finish good. Once it gets
No,
cold outside, they don't want to play football no more.
no, I think we all had the Dolphins at the in our prediction.
Yeah.
So I think we were all, yeah. Especially me being a Bills fan. Like I'm up to date. And yeah, once I said it in that predictions podcast. Like Miami is Miami. They are an embarrassment of an organization, an embarrassment of a franchise. They have no identity. They have no idea what they want to do. They have no idea what their coach like. They don't know what they want to do. I said this and I'll say it again. They have absolutely no game plan for their franchise.
Now the
None.
0-1 Dolphins play the 0-1 Patriots this week.
Yeah. Just before we move on to that, we'll move on to the Patriots next. But I just want to give Daniel Jones his props. Daniel Jones, once again, anytime this man has been counted out or his contract is on the line, Daniel Jones shows up. It is crazy. But anytime he needs to get paid, he locks back into the Daniel Jones that was the top pick he was. And obviously it's Miami, so they're deep. We're not gonna. But I will give him that dude. When I was kept getting notifications, turning in, watching some plays, I'm like, hey, dang, he has those flashes. He always does. He has these moments where he looks like, oh my god, this is the guy.
Hey man, Daniel Jones beat Kevin O'Connell in a playoff game. Kevin O'Connell is your guy.
Yeah, he
Kevin
did.
O'Connell. He
And
beat that
then
guy in a playoff game.
Daniel Jones
Don't
also performs like one of the worst quarterbacks in the
let's just say
NFL.
Daniel
I don't
Jones is not clutch and not consistent. But to be fair, Josh Allen wasn't very consistent when he started. So hey, maybe Shane Steichen can fix him.
no,
Maybe.
but yeah. Well, there's a bit, yeah. Let's see, because yeah, we'll see, But I'm reading this. The Colts had not won opening day in 11 years.
Literally, it's bad.
So, maybe Daniel Jones broke that curse, and maybe he'll be the guy to get them back to the playoffs. Because
Danny Dimes.
AFC South, I feel like that division can be
Interesting division, especially if Brian Callahan learns how to be a coach. You can go to that game if you want.
sure. Let's get these Raiders and Patriots out of the way.
Okay, you can do that game too.
We're just talking about them. Raiders,
Geno
Patriots.
Smith. Geno Smith.
Boy, doing Geno things, throwing for 350 yards to do, I saw this. I'm pretty sure he's like top 3 or top 4 in passing yards since 2023 when his first year with Seattle when he started popping off. Since then, he's top 5 in passing yards. The only people who are ahead of him are Allen, Burrow, and Mahomes. So
Yeah, Geno
I
is a
feel like
professional quarterback.
all right, not Allen Burrow. All right, yeah, Allen Burrow, Mahomes. So I feel like those are some good names to be around.
For sure.
But
That guy
Patriots,
is a professional.
he is 100% a professional quarterback. The Raiders, they look solid against. Because I expected a lot more out of the Patriots. To be honest, I really did. I was, even as a Bills fan, I was high on the Patriots going into the season. And I'm not saying I'm upset that the Raiders did what they did, but
I expected more out of the Patriots offense.
that's
Honestly,
100 exactly like yeah 100%. That's what like I Drake May obviously his first game here, but I feel like he definitely underperformed from what his expectations would have been.
oh, for sure. I don't remember what the stat line was. Maybe I could look it up real quick, but
Come on, I
he
have this.
did
I
not.
have them all pulled up right here. He went 30 for 46 for 287 and an interception with a QBR of 30, a QBR of 40
Mm,
with an 80 with an 80 QB rating, which
the
yeah,
stats
obviously
honestly
people
look
might
better
see,
than it was.
but yeah, but the if you look at the stats, it's because they had to start throwing the ball at the end, especially that
Literally.
those. If you look at those last two drives, were basically only passes.
Right.
So he definitely got a little bit of boost at the end there.
That's why I said that I feel like the stats make it look better than it was because it
Oh
honestly
yeah, you're right.
wasn't that good.
I heard you wrong. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, stats definitely make it look better than it was. But yeah, we'll see about New England because I mean the receivers like Kayshawn Booty went for 6 for 100. Hunter Henry went for 4 for 60. Diggs went for 6 for 50. And obviously we're saying yeah the passing was boosted a little bit, but the receivers they looked okay. The run game definitely wasn't where I thought it would be, and obviously Drake May was not up to where I thought he should be. But I'm still not completely down on the Patriots, especially with Vrabel as a coach. I very think they can easily turn it around.
Oh, for sure. And they got Miami this week. I think they'll be fine. They'll be
That's
okay.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, you're giving Vrabel off of a loss against a messed up Miami team. I might take the I don't know. I might take the Patriots to score a nice 40 points, and wonder what the odds on that would be.
Drake May
If
anytime
the Colts
rushing touchdown.
if the Colts just scored 33 on the Dolphins, you're telling me the Patriots can't score 40? I think
they,
they I think they could.
they get at least 3, 4 touchdowns.
They can at least get 33 against they can at least put up the same amount against the Dolphins.
You would hope so.
If not more as a divisional game and like I'm just thinking of from with Vrabel as a coach, knowing what he does and like coming off of a loss, motivation. He has all the motivation against a division rival.
But you
Yeah.
also have to remember the Dolphins are also coming off a loss. I know you're just thinking the Dolphins are going to lay down and let them punch in the mouth, but
I'm not
no,
see. I'm
those
not.
those guys
I
also have
don't.
pride.
They do have. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like if you look at the Dolphins the last season and a half, do they have pride? Do they have pride? Do they
Not a
really?
lot of it, but they got some.
They do, but I'm not saying they're gonna lay down, but I feel like Vrabel, even if Vrabel is just gonna push them over and then punch them in the face and then kick them while they're down. That's my Vrabel. I like Vrabel more than I trust him a lot.
For sure. But low key, I trust Tua more than I trust Drake May. But I don't trust Tua's offensive line.
I don't trust either one of them, and so I definitely am not gonna say I trust Tua. That's yeah, I'm right. No, I'll leave him. He's had enough. He has to deal with it now.
He's had a rough week.
Um, what else do we want to do next?
We can do that Commanders game.
Yeah, the Commanders game. Yeah, I mean that game went about exactly as went exactly as we predicted. The Commanders were the Commanders against the New York Giants.
This game is officially the transition for me from my old favorite quarterback, the old quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, to my new favorite quarterback, the old quarterback of the LSU Tigers, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, the stats, whatever the stats were, let me tell you right real quick what the stats were. Jaden Daniels was 19 of 30 for 233 yards, but that doesn't even do justice. Jaden Daniels missed Scary Terry on a deep ball. They'll get better. He was out the whole training camp. He missed a couple. He missed them on a comeback route. Jaden Daniels is just so crisp. He sees the field so well. He's what Lamar Jackson is now. It took Lamar Jackson 7 years to be this, 8 years. Jaden Daniels is a mini Lamar Jackson. He just needs a better team. And the Giants were the perfect training camp game for them because even though this was a divisional game, this was not close. It was 6-14 for a lot of the game, the whole first half, and then the Commanders didn't get their last touchdown until the fourth quarter. But trust me, the Giants'
I
offense
it
did
never
not
looked
stand a chance.
it never looked like the Commanders were in any trouble.
The only opportunities Russell Wilson had was throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors and praying to God he made a play on it.
Yeah, yeah. No, Commanders did it not. They did what they had to do to win a divisional game because no matter what, divisional game is going to be tough, especially in the
Always.
NFC, especially in the NFC East. So they did exactly what they needed to do to walk out of there with a win. Jaden Daniels once again cemented himself as one of the most efficient quarterbacks in NFL history through his first 2 seasons.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I high hopes the Commanders. Once again, it's only week 1, but we'll see how they progress. Another big one with a quarterback I have a lot of hope for. 2 quarterbacks that I got some Titans and Broncos. Cam Ward, number 1 pick, opening debut against the Knicks man and Sean Payton.
Your guy, Bo Nix Truther.
I'm 100% a Bo Nix Truther. And I didn't really perform to the utmost best that I thought he did. But hey, the Broncos walked out of there with a win. And that was just I saw a little bit of that game. That was a good game. That game was between the Titans who I had winning the AFC South, Broncos who I had winning the AFC West. And I think the Titans, they put up a really good fight as a team with a rookie quarterback, not a lot of pieces on offense, really. I feel like they still, against the Broncos, who I feel, if not the number 1, 2, or 3 defense in the NFL. And I think
on the road also.
Yeah, especially if Cam Moore, first game as a rookie on the road.
Literally.
Went 12 for 28 with 100 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Yeah, absolutely terrible QBR. But against that happens to a lot of quarterbacks against the Broncos, and the Titans still only an 8-point loss. And they were in it until the end of the game. Broncos scored a touchdown at the end, really put it away there. But I gotta, like I said, I was high on the Titans going into the season. I was high on the Broncos going into the season, and this game makes me confident in both those teams.
Sure. That was a great game for Denver's defense.
Of course. But we know that's what Denver's going to rely on.
Oh, for sure. They're going to lean on that defense.
They just need Bo Nix to not lose them the game.
Pretty much.
Well, we've got Rams, Texans.
Boring. Snooze fest.
Absolutely. But Rams walk out of there with the dub. Texans, we talked about before the season. What are the Texans? What are the Texans? Like we said.
You know what I really didn't like about the end of that game?
What?
The fact that CJ Stroud got to the podium and immediately blamed his offensive line.
Yeah, that's a very I feel like that's like that's a rare CJ. Like,
that's like a QB red flag. That's like a QB red flag.
Super QB, especially from CJ Stroud, where I feel like that's like completely out of character.
That's my thing with these Ohio State quarterbacks. It's like he's like spoiled. He's like a spoiled brat, in my opinion, from a QB's perspective. He's not like a kid or anything.
No, I know.
He's so
100%.
used to. He had a Lermy Tunzel last year. He had a great O line. Not a great. Even last year, he had to have a great O line. You come from Ohio State having a great O line. You never get touched. Yeah, first year you have the best quarterback season ever, and the second year you get roughed up a little bit, even though you have Lermy Tunzel. Third year they trade Lermy Tunzel. You got a brand new line. That's not brand new line, but a line that has to figure it out. You already got smacked a whole lot last year. They traded away your best tackle. And then you come on the podium and talk about, we got to figure out the operation. Like, sir, you're also part of the operation.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe he was just trying to spark. I don't know. But like I said, this is why I say I don't know what the time, because I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he's trying to spark a fire or if he's like actually, speaking, like, because that's just like for CJ to do that. And it's just like, what does he mean? What does he mean by that? Like, what does he mean? What does he mean by that? And what are the Texans? Like, I really don't. I don't know. That's why one reason why I have the Titans winning the AFC South, because even with the rookie, I feel like they know what they are and what they want to do. Like
Right.
they have an identity, they have an idea. The Texans, like, yeah, what is their identity?
I think they're a defensive team. I know that D'Amico Ryans is a good defensive coach. They got a bunch of dogs on defense, and they keep injuring people for some reason. But yo, did you see the hit on Puka Nakua that they put him in concussion protocol, give him a bloody nose,
Yeah, that was mm-hmm.
and then he came back in the game, gave him 10 catches for 130 yards. Oh my goodness,
That's
that was
that's my
crazy.
that's my number 5 receiver, baby.
That's why he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, but Rams did enough to get the win. Walked out of there. Stafford 21 for 29, 245. Tutty. Rams. That's my Super Bowl pick, and they started the season 1-0. What I had them only losing. I remember I had them with a crazy record. So let's see.
Yeah, you had him like 16 and one or something.
Hey, they're 1-0. They're on pace. That's all I'm saying. They're
He
1-0.
said, "Hey, you're one
They're
to
1-0.
know."
1-0 on pace. That's all I gotta say about that. So, and finish off, we have some very, very big games, very close ones. Let's start with the Bengals and the Browns. Joey B and the Bangs walk out of there. They barely walk out of there. I'd say they're crawling on one leg out of there with a win. Joe Flacco, 31 for 45, 290, showing what Joe Flacco against the Bengals, a tale as old as time. Miles
Literally.
Garrett. Miles Garrett did everything he possibly could do to win that game for the Browns. And their kicker said, nah, the Bengals got it today, guys. I was following that game at the end. And I wasn't watching it, but I was following it. I wish I could have watched the last 7 minutes of the game. Because just following along and seeing the plays happen where it's okay, Browns have a chance to win. Oh, fumble. Bengals have a chance to close it. Oh, interception. Browns have a chance to score. Miss. Bengals have a chance to close it out. Fumble. Oh, sack. Like that. I really wish I could have watched the last 7 minutes of that game because I'm sure it was just both those teams were doing everything in their power to not win.
Dude,
Like,
it was
but
like all the passes he was throwing were slightly to the right, and then the receivers, both of his picks he threw happened the exact same way. He threw the pass slightly off target, like throw it a curl route, and you stop, and you have to throw it, you have to lean to the right in the bottom to catch the ball, and the ball goes through your hands and up in the air. Now the cornerback's like, oh, look, a ball. Pick. That happened for both of Joe Flacco's interceptions. I'm like, yo, the Bengals are the luckiest team ever. Because that was so crazy that it happens twice. It was,
yeah,
it was so bad.
yeah. I mean, once again, Cleveland and Bengals. That's just Miles Garrett is just proves like he mattered. Like having a guy like that is a big difference against a quarterback like Joe Burrow. We saw it in the Super Bowl that they lost, what Aaron Donald did, and Miles Garrett did his best to do the same thing, but like the Browns kicker just I don't know. That game was wild. Flacco, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, 300 yards, the most Flacco stat line of all time. Burrow, 14 for 23, 113. And the Brown and we talked about it before the thing the Browns have, and they've always had the defense. That is something that they always have, and it's just will the offense give them a chance or to put up any sort of points?
Ah, word.
and it is and the trend follows again. I saw people I stayed away from betting on this game at all because for some reason I remember seeing it in the offseason and it just stayed in my mind when Jamar Chase has to face the Browns and Denzel Ward turns into prime Darrelle Revis. Anytime he steps on a field against Jamar Chase, Denzel Ward becomes the best cornerback in the NFL. I don't know why he hates that man so much.
He
But even
said prime Darrell Revis.
I remember seeing the clip. Even Jamar Chase has said it. Like he doesn't like facing Denzel Ward, and I don't know why, but I guess there's just those certain players where Denzel Ward he just anytime Jamar Chase is on the field, he said, "Nah, it's my day. It's my day."
Literally.
And
He
obviously,
said,
he's a solid cornerback. Oh, he's always a solid cornerback regardless. But against Jamar Chase, that dude is something different.
"Oh, for sure."
But yeah, this game, yeah, with the Bengals winning this game over the Browns and started the season, I think it might not seem big now, but that AFC North, everyone is very solid. Everyone seems very solid, and with those records are going to be very close at the end of the year. With the Ravens, and especially with the Ravens losing to us, that could play a factor as a tiebreaker with win percentage and win like that one, like them getting out of there with that win. Obviously, it's only week one, but it's absolutely huge that the Bengals were able to steal that one away from the Browns, especially if the Browns end up beating the Ravens at the end of the season, and then the Ravens and the Bengals have the same record,
Yeah,
which
that would
is
be crazy.
what that's what I said would happen. That's why I had the Bengals winning because I felt like that's something that would happen where the Ravens are going to lose to maybe the Steelers or the Browns, and the Bengals are going to sneak one against them, and that's what it's going to come down to. Speaking of
I,
the speaking of or what
I just think the Bengals defense is too bad to
it's
win the
terrible.
division
It's
because
so
it's
bad.
like the
So
Browns offense is okay, but it's like, who is Dylan Sampson? They got running the ball. Like, I'm not saying he's nobody, but I'm just like, they have.
don't disrespect Dylan Sampson.
I'm not trying to disrespect him, but I'm just saying he's not Derrick Henry.
Nah, obviously.
Like, you feel me? Like, Derek Dylan Sampson
Yeah.
had 12 carries for 29 yards, which is decent, but Derrick Henry against the Bills had, I don't know, 18 carries for 167 yards. So
Yeah.
that's this defense they're playing now. It was a good
Derrick,
warm-up game for their
Derrick
defense.
Henry hates once again, like I said, Denzel Ward hates Jamar Chase. Derrick Henry hates the Bills ever since
Yeah.
this man has stepped foot in the NFL. If he is facing the Buffalo Bills, whether it was Tennessee, Baltimore, this dude could be playing for the fucking Martians. If he's facing the Buffalo Bills, he's gonna go off for 200.
Fair enough.
Well, we'll move on to another AFC North with the Steelers and the Jets. Aaron Rodgers makes his return to the Meadowlands. It's not like he performed. It's not like he did anything there, but making his return, walks out of there with a dub, looking like retro. I'm not gonna say prime, but looking like retro Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers looked great, man, but I feel like the real story of the game was Justin Fields.
hundred
I did
percent. Jets
not
offense.
expect that man to throw that many yards, that many passes, period. I did not expect him to throw the ball that clean, crisp. He looked like an actual quarterback.
I mean, they kept him in what they did what he does best. Kept his pass attempts under 25. He went 16 for 22.
For
Because
sure.
his thing is it's not like he was inaccurate like short. He's always been really good in the mid to short and on the run. It's just
Right.
like when he has to pass a lot, that's when things start to go bad. So
Yeah,
as
kind
long
of
as
like Jalen Hurts.
as long as you can just prevent him from having to throw the ball and let him be able to use his legs with a defense like that, yeah, like there's a good chance like they will if they can keep this up, they will be competitive, especially against a good Pittsburgh defense. But at the end of the day, the Steelers they have Chris Boswell, and since he stepped foot in Pittsburgh, this man Boz has been automatic.
Yeah, that game wasn't even like a game. It was like a 7-on-7 clinic. Other than the
No,
fact that Brees Hall had 107 rushing yards, but
which is funny enough because those are two teams. That's the complete opposite score of what you would expect that game to be.
nah, word.
Going into that game, I expected similar, closer to like that Commanders Giants score. That's something I would have expected more of.
Right.
Or
I think
maybe the
everybody in
Rams
America
Houston
had the
like
under.
14, like 14-9, like Houston. No, like that's 100% what I could have seen this 30, like 34-32. That's like I did not. The Jets putting up 32 points. Yeah, I would have never believed that at all,
Literally.
Especially against the Steelers. But at the end of the day, the football gods, they were never going to let Aaron Rodgers lose to the New York Jets. That just wasn't happening. that wasn't happening.
Nah,
And
word.
the Steelers lock out of there. But yes, I feel like the true like I was Steelers they looked exactly what I thought they were. they have the same exact team as they had last year, and they just have a different quarterback who is probably a little bit more efficient than Fields when he has to throw more. So, like, still, I don't, they're probably going to end up exactly where they are every year, 9-8, 10-7, same thing every single year. Steelers are going to be the exact same thing every year. I don't have any. I'm not down on them after this game, but it's not like I don't think that they're. I feel like there's a lot of people, some Steelers fans I see are, whatever. It's it's going to be the exact same thing. I'm sorry to say. And if it's something different, I'll eat my words. But I highly doubt it. But yeah, the real outcome, the Jets, Justin Fields, he looked like the true top pick he is, and the game plan, it works when he doesn't have to throw the ball a bunch. He can use his legs.
Right.
And if that defense performs the way they do, the Jets will have a chance in every game they play this year.
For sure. I hope Justin Fields can keep this up because he deserves it with all the stuff he's been through. I feel like the Bears are not a great organization, in my personal opinion. And, he kind of got booted for Russell Wilson when I feel like Russell Wilson didn't really deserve to be the starter when Justin Fields was 4-2 when he got kicked out of the Steelers
100%.
starter job.
I agree 100%. It did not. It changed nothing for them.
Literally.
It changed nothing. They found, and that's why they ended up with Aaron Rodgers, because they never gave Fields a chance to see what he could do. So you don't know, and then they don't keep him, and then they were right. Like, who knows? If you get Fields the rest of that season, a whole off season, maybe something changes, because we seen what he did yesterday with a team, a team that believes in him, a coach that believes in him, forms. So if the Steelers would have put that trust and faith into him, who knows what would have happened?
Right.
Move on to close out a Sunday night, baby. Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens, 41-40. Buffalo Bills down 15 with 4 minutes left. The first team to ever come back and win in regulation, down by that much. The king, the MVP, Josh Allen, 33 for 46 with 394 yards and 2 TDs. Passing, 2 TDs, rushing.
Yeah, that guy's built different, man. I don't even know what to say about him because 40-25 yes, Derrick Henry did fumble, and Keon Coleman stepped up big time.
Derrick Henry, he didn't just fumble. It's not like he just lost the ball.
Ed Oliver forced the fumble.
He got stood. It's not just that. Ed Oliver stood him up and then punched the ball out. It's not like he just went he stood his ass up in the backfield and then punched the ball out. To do that against Derrick Henry in the clutch, that is big. That's exactly what we drafted Ed Oliver for.
Yeah, for sure. That's Aaron Donald-esque right there.
Yeah. And then Keon Coleman, once again, I've been high on Keon. I told people just give him an off season, give him time to develop chemistry with Josh. He was a rookie receiver, like we said before earlier. The Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson have done irreparable damage to people's minds. But regardless, I say give him a full off season with Josh Allen, learn the NFL, learn the ropes, get in sync. And what happened? Anytime Josh needed a big play, who did he go to? Keon Coleman.
Ooh. Yeah, that man was crazy.
And I'm not taking anything away from the Ravens. They perform. I mean, you score once again. Another stat. The Ravens, they score 40 points against anybody. You win. you normally win that game, and they still should. As a guy who was at that game, once again, I'm a true diehard Bills fan. As I will go to this cold, but people saying like, oh, people are fake fans for leaving. I saw the stat. Teams down by that much with that amount of time left. The record, I posted on my story. You saw the record is 3 in 2,623.
Did you leave the game early?
No, I stayed. We were about to. We were literally about to leave, and then we got the fumble. We were literally about to leave, and then we got the fumble.
That's crazy as heck.
Yeah, because once again, if the Ravens go down, they move the ball in that drive. That the game's over. Game's dead. So yeah, we were 100%. You got to beat traffic. It gets great, but then that fumble literally happened at the perfect time, and we decided to say, And I do, but I take blame. Never probably should have never even thought about leaving because I don't know why I completely forgot that we have Josh Allen as our quarterback.
I would say you must have forgot.
The drinks were flowing, so let's the drinks were flowing a little bit better. So
The drinks
um,
was drinking.
the drinks was the drink. Well, I'm not getting into how much, but yeah, the drinks was definitely drinking that day. Uh,
I get it.
But yeah, another like I said, you score 40 points against anybody, normally you win. But sad I see ESPN after this is the Bills. This is the third time the Bills have let a team. Once again, this goes to prove how good Josh Allen is, and anybody who ever taught like it's crazy. This is the third time in his career the Bills have let a team score 40 points and still won that game.
That's insane. That's an insane stat right there.
It's only happened. I think it's only happened like 4 or 5 times in NFL history that a team has allowed somebody to score 40 points and still won that game. And Josh Allen has 3 of them. The other one is the Rams and Chiefs game from
Oh,
that
I
that
remember that game. Yeah,
that shootout game. And I can't remember what the other game was, but I think it's the I can't remember what other game it is, but yeah, between like those 4 or 5, Josh Allen has 3 of them, which goes to prove
really.
how like this man truly is the most valuable player and like is the sole reason for the Buffalo Bills winning football games majority of the time.
Oh, for sure.
And he once again proved right, and he's already leading his case for back-to-back MVP, starting off the season with 400 passing yards, 2 TDs passing, 2 rushing TDs. You know, Lamar Jackson, 14 for 19, 200, 2 passing TDs, very efficient. Looked like exactly like he is the other MVP of the league. Derrick Henry did exactly what Derrick Henry does against the Bills, and once against any other team, against any, this is a win. This is a win. But when you're facing Josh Allen, nothing's ever set in stone. And he got the ball back, and that's all Bills fans ever had. You know, he got the ball back with a chance to win it, and his defense finally stepped up for him, and we walked out of there with a win.
That's all we can ask for.
That is all. That's one of the few times in my life I can say the defense finally stepped up for Josh Allen. He didn't have to score twice to win it himself. The defense actually gave him a boost for once.
For sure.
And then to close out the week, we got the Bears and the Vikings last night, Monday Night Football. Let's go over it. Let's just get this one out of the way. We'll do it quick because I know you got to get to work. The Bears look like hey, Bears to the Super Bowl for 3 quarters, three and a half quarters. Looked like Bears to the Super Bowl,
Man, that
and
first drive was stupendous. I think he was like 8 for 8 or 6 for 6 or something, like throwing straight checkdowns. And he had a rushing touchdown at the end of it. Like, okay, the Bears look good. And then it was a whole lot of not much after that. I think they had 17 points for the longest, or 16 points. And one of the touchdowns was a defensive touchdown. No, they had 17 because they had
yeah,
10,
yeah,
and
they
then
had
the
7.
dude
I'm
scored a
looking.
pick six.
They had 17.
But yeah, so Caleb could not do much on offense. But go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, no, you're saying Caleb. Yeah, Caleb, well, the Vikings have a solid defense. Yeah, Caleb couldn't do much on offense, but yeah, it was looking like Bears to the Super. And then, but they did the most Chicago Bears thing you could possibly do, and somehow lost this game.
Yeah,
JJ McCarthy, 13 for 20, 143, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Obviously, what he did in the fourth quarter of that game is why why he was a top pick, why they got rid of Donald. But yeah, I really don't know what to think of the Vikings after this game. I don't know what to think of the Vikings after this game.
I just think for the Bears defense, it's really hard to win a game when you're on the field constantly because your quarterback just
Can't move the ball.
can't
Yeah.
can't accurately throw passes. It's like after that first fourth down when they went, stop giving a fuck. He said, I'm gonna just start doing whatever the hell I want. The script is now broke. Like, okay, Caleb, let me just incomplete pass. You can't throw a out, you can't throw a curl, you can't throw a flag. Like, what do you
Yeah.
throw?
And that was the
Ben
exact
Johnson is over there crashing out on the sideline. Like,
yeah,
what is going on in my
yeah.
offense?
And that's the exact same problem he had last season, where it's like this dude will he will hit some of some throws crazier than I've seen Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes make. That he only throws I've seen him make. And then at the same time, yeah, he can't hit a basic 7 yard out. It makes no sense at all. But the Vikings, they did enough. They did what they had to do. Walk out of the division game with a win, and knowing that division, that game is going to be very crucial at the end of the season.
For sure.
But I
Oh
mean,
my
yeah,
lord.
going into week two, I feel like the true story of week two is the team, the teams that underperformed the big dogs. Will they get some sense knocked back into their head after week one? Oh, wait, this is the professional football league. Everybody's good at football here, and will they bounce back? Uh, no, I'm just so happy that Bama's back, man. The week
Couple
one, we
teams that got embarrassed. We got to see what they're made of. You got the freaking Panthers. Got embarrassed. They got to go up to Arizona this week. I wouldn't say the Chiefs got embarrassed, but they got to go back and play the team that embarrassed them in the end of last season. They got to go play the Eagles this week.
and I feel like the Eagles they got to prove like, hey, we're not with against that game against Dallas. The Eagles got to prove we're still the Eagles. So I feel like we're set up for and I feel like this might be one of the most interesting week twos
Right.
I've ever been alive for, because this week one was there's some big games, and big, I wouldn't say huge stories coming out of the games, but some of the teams that win and how some of those games went, definitely not what a lot of people expected going into the season.
Oh, for sure.
And so, I mean, we talk about, especially with the way college football has been. This football season so far, since college football week 0, everything has lived up to the hype so far.
Yeah, I'm excited for most of these games. I'm looking at the Sunday slate right now. You got
Yeah,
Jags at Bengals, Giants,
yeah.
Cowboys.
We'll talk
Some
about
good
yeah.
games.
There's some big game. We'll talk about those. Let's just cover the Thursday. Let's cover Thursday real quick. Packers Commanders. What a Thursday night. What a Thursday
Woo!
night game.
Jaden Daniels, I'm calling right now, boys. Jaden Daniels is going to go to Green Bay and shock the world. I want to say shock the world, but do some big things. I got the Commanders winning this game. Call it right now.
Do you? I'm high on the Commanders, but I mean, depends what Jordan Love we get. But if it's the Jordan Love I saw last week and the Jordan Love that I know is there, it's hard. That's gonna be a hard game for. I know the Commanders, they could win it, but I think I got the Packers in that one. Just
I think it'll be a close one. I think
no,
it'll be like a
definitely. Oh,
uh
this will probably be the best Thursday night game we've gotten in the last 4 years.
I think it'll be a good one. I remember the Lions played the Packers in a divisional Thursday night game. I think it was last year. That was a really
Yes,
good
it was
game.
that was at the end of the season to determine it, basically.
Yeah, that was a really good game. It
Yeah,
wasn't to determine it. I think they were a couple games ahead already, but it was it might have been to determine it, but it was like week 13 or something. It was like before they were really, 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 really good. They were still really good, but it was
this
still
is
a
two
couple weeks
two
left.
seasons ago. I know this is 2 seasons ago. It was determined who won the, yeah. It was like they were like same record, but yeah, I know, yeah. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's very rare that we get a good Thursday night game. Very, very rare that we get a good Thursday night game. So I'm going to enjoy every single moment, just like I've enjoyed every single moment of this football season, whether it's been the college or the NFL. I'm sure you have too. Before we get out of here, anything else you want to talk about or see going into week two off of week one?
No, sir. Just hope everybody keeps doing what they do, and hopefully the Seattle Seahawks bounce back. But other than that, let's play some football.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta, yeah, let's play some football. Josh, my big thing, no, we have the Jets coming up, going to the Meadowlands. And Aaron Rodgers, he just cooked the Jets. So with a bunch, I just hope that, like, I had Josh throwing for the most yards of the season, and hopefully he just continues it, because I just like seeing Josh Allen play football. That's highlight my day every time he steps on the field. So ending on that note, we got some banger week two games coming up. a banger NFL season so far. Josh Allen showed why he was the MVP last season, leading the MVP race this year. Let's say probably got Justin Herbert right behind him. And besides that, I mean, we got a
maybe Geno Smith.
maybe. But on that note, man, let's say fuck the Dolphins, fuck the Patriots, fuck the Jets, go Bills, and we out.
Sir.